Hello, youth. Merry Christmas. I hope you guys are doing well. Sorry it's been a bit since I've posted a midweek encouragement. I'm going to try to be more diligent on that, especially as we move into the new year. I wanted to just give you this brief Christmas message. We had a blast at the Christmas party Sunday evening. My favorite moment is watching one, if not many of you, try to punch your way through the box, only to realize that it's not going to work. Some of you did. Anyway, I wanted to share something, and this is actually something that my youth pastor shared with our group when I was in youth group, probably in, I think probably high school. So my youth pastor, Joe Noel, he shared this with us one Christmas, and I wanted to share it with you because it is what I'd say a non-conventional, little bit of a Christmas encouragement. So, Christmas time, as we talked about Sunday night, and as Hosanna so graciously gave us the Christmas story, is a time to celebrate Jesus' birth. And this time of year, we hear a lot about the shepherds and the magi or the wise men, however you want to talk about them. We hear a lot about Mary and Joseph and the nativity scene. And if you've been joining us for Sunday services or watching online, you've heard about Zechariah and some of these other key players in the Christmas story. And those are good. And those are good stories to tell because that is the heart. Those are the heart of the Christmas story is that event, the birth of Jesus. And another thing that we hear a lot about, especially in churches this time of year, is the number of prophecies that were fulfilled at Jesus' birth. And many of these prophecies were given hundreds of years before Jesus was even born. And to me, at times, and when I hear, oh yeah, this prophecy was given 400 years ago, 500 years ago, 600 years ago, and it's not realized until the birth of Jesus, I hear that and I go, well, why? Why wasn't it sooner? Why didn't God send Jesus as a baby to be born and have that Christmas Advent event earlier? What's the wait? Why not just send him sooner and get the ball rolling? And many of these prophecies would be more fresh. It wouldn't take these guys who have studied the law and studied the Old Testament, and their worldview would be just the scriptures. It wouldn't have taken them so much time to go back, oh man, remember when it said. It would have been fresh on their brains. And I think the Apostle Paul is keying in on this same thought. What is the deal with the timing of the birth of Jesus? And I think he's keying in on this when he writes to the Galatians chapter 4, verse 4 says this: "When the fullness of time had come, God sent forth his Son, born of woman, born under the law, to redeem those who were under the law, so that we might receive adoption as sons." Paul says God sent Jesus to be born, quote, in the fullness of time. And this idea of the fullness of time is just that the exact right time, when all things had come to their fulfillment, it was the perfect time for Jesus to be born, and that's when Jesus was sent to be born. And what Jesus accomplishes tells us why. So what Jesus does at his birth and in his life tells us why it had to be this timing in order for Jesus to be born. Jesus was born at the exact right time for the religious system that existed in their world to be born under the law himself. So that way he would grow up and live a life and fulfill the law on our behalf. Jesus was born at the exact right time politically. The political world, the Jews expected a conquering king who would come and free them from Rome. The Roman world was such where if you did not fall in line in the ways they wanted, it resulted in a negative experience for you. And a lot of times we would hear that and we go, well, like, that doesn't seem good. But if you know the end of Jesus' story, it was exactly the plan. Because Jesus came to die. And so the political and religious systems that were in place in that first century at the time that Jesus was on this earth were the perfect conditions for him not only to be born, but for him to live the life he did and to die a death at the hands of the state of Rome and the Jewish leaders to pay the price for our sin. Jesus was born in the exact right place on earth to accomplish both a humble birth, a humble life, and a humble death. Like, it was perfect. God knew exactly what he was doing when he sent Jesus, where he sent Jesus, how he sent Jesus, because it was all done to accomplish this thing, because Jesus came as a baby. That's what we're celebrating this time here. In a couple days, we're going to celebrate that by remembering the gift that God gave us and sharing our gifts with others. But that baby came to one day grow up and eventually die and redeem those who are, as Galatians tells us, under the law, and make them to become children of God. That's the message of Christmas. That God sent his son as a baby to provide a way for all who would believe in him to become part of the family of God themselves. And so I hope as you celebrate Christmas with your families or whoever you celebrate Christmas with, however you celebrate Christmas this year, I hope that you take time to remember Jesus and his birth, and that it is through him and this perfect timing God had that he accomplishes the way for us to become God's children and a part of God's family. So take that with you. Merry Christmas, and I will hopefully see you, or you'll hopefully hear from me before the end of the year, and I will see you guys in the new year for a 2022 packed full of good things. So I love you guys. Enjoy your Christmas break. It's well deserved. Get some rest, and we'll see you soon. Bye.